Okay, it's 7 o'clock on Sunday. Hey, beautiful people. It is your girl, makeup artist DeShawn Hatcher. All the way, as I say, from New York. Whenever someone comes on, if you guys can just let me know if you can hear me, that would be fantastic. Yep. I know y'all are not used to me being here at 7. I know y'all are like, is she on time? I am on time today. I am. Finally. Oh, happy joy, joy. I am on time. So that makes me very happy. Um, Today's a funky day for me. I'm having a funky day. But I'm always happy to be here with you. For now, hi, loud and clear. Thank you, sweetheart, for telling me. I appreciate that. Because I have my little fan going, so you might hear zzz because it's hot in this room, okay? Whenever I do this, I have to close the door. I have a fan above my head. One of these days, I'll pan up so you guys can see my room, but literally 22 feet up in the air is a fan that does nothing down here. So then I have to turn on my little tiny bitty little fan here. So every now and then you're going to hear a little fan going, okay? Because it's hot in here. Dawn's full. Oh, Dawn's full. That's so sweet. I like that. Oh, thank you. Thank you. It is a combination there for oven. I just put it down. It's actually, at first it started out to be a Kevin Kwan color, and that was really sweet looking. It was kind of like pinkish. And then I was like, I'm not feeling it. And then I remember I had this very old, what is this? Maybelline. I happen to be a Maybelline lipstick junkie. And I put on this Red Revival number 645 on top of the pink. So it really kind of took the color. So it's this Red Revival color right here from Maybelline 645. Amy, hi, sweetheart. How are you doing? Good evening, Miss Samoa. How are you doing, sweethearts? So yeah, I mean, listen, peeps. Listen. Listen, I consider to say I'm tired. I'm pretty sure we all are tired. Like it feels like the whole world is tired. I am exhausted from the past, weeks. We New Yorkers have been in the house for months. Like I know a lot of you guys were able to go out and about. Well, New Yorkers have been stuck in the house for now months on end, and she's tired. And even though I'm very fortunate, I'm very fortunate that I have moved upstate. Yeah. And I can actually go outside. I can go outside. It's not like not like I'm holed up in the house or anything. I can go outside, but it's not like I'm going far. I'm not like in the wilderness or anything. I'm in a nice location, but at the same time, I don't drive. I'm the idiot who moves upstate and doesn't have, I don't drive. The boyfriend drives, but I don't drive. And so, I'm kind of stuck where I am until I do get my car and situation. So, it's just been one of those, I can't leave the premises per se. So it's been a little much. It's been a little much, but at least I am fortunate to be able to go outside with at least the mask around my neck and not always on my mouth. So I guess I am privileged in that sense. But Dawn's full says, yes, I'm tired. I haven't. Oh wait, the screen is not even on yet. Hold up, the screen is a little askew. I haven't been sleeping much this week. Oh. It's so interesting. Some people can't sleep much, and some people, me, sleep sleep away. Because it's like I don't want to be awake. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm exhausted from all of this. I'm just exhausted from kind of everything that's going on. It's just very exhausting. I'm not even protesting, okay? I'm in my house and I'm exhausted. So God bless the protesters for the peaceful. Let's be truthful here. The peaceful protesters, not the stupid looters, but the peaceful protesters. Thank you for kind of going out there and doing your thing. Not just for Black people technically, but really for the world. Because once you change things for the better for Black people, you change things for the better for the world. And so I am, I'm just kind of thrilled that, they're doing their thing out there, and God bless them. God bless them putting themselves on the line like that, because if we don't do this, then who, right? If we don't do this, then who? It's just very, very exhausting. Lisa, hello. Hello, sweetheart. So normally I know that this is supposed to be a tea and a he, and we can escape the madness for an hour or so. But I did want to kind of, I don't know. I feel compelled. It just, I've been very like black. In the last couple of weeks. I'm normally not like, I'm pro-black, as clearly I'm a black person. But, you know, here lately it's just been, you know, you have to be vocal and speak up and say your piece, whether somebody agrees with you or not, whether or not you lose followers or whatever the deal may be. I have lost many followers, and that's okay. You know, but I have gained followers as well. It's very strange how that works. Lafala, I want to protest, but I'm too scared to get my family sick. I hear you exactly. I keep telling people when Black people are treated better, everyone will benefit. I agree. Everybody's going to benefit from this. There are other ways to be vocal and participate in the movement. And I am trying, Lisa, I am trying my hardest to participate in the movement with being vocal. I'm one of those keyboard vocalists. You know, I'm trying to be as vocal as I can online as much as I can. And so I just kind of wanted to go over like this little story I had posted on my Facebook page. This week, I want to say this week, Thursday, I thought, don't quote me. I don't know what day it is half the time, so I'm not sure what day. I mean, thank God I know it's Sunday. You get what I'm saying? Because good God, I don't know what day it is. So someday this week, I had been reading, you know, everybody's Facebook pages. And one young lady, Nicole, had put up an experience that she had Black while shopping. And I had said to her, I got this like epiphany. Oh, why don't we, because, you know, DeShawn has to have an epiphany. So I was like, oh, you know what would be cool if we could all on one given day put up our Black while shopping experiences all on one day, all on the feed, and hopefully fill up the feed with Black while shopping experiences. And then maybe people who don't quite understand what we go through, maybe they'll actually read at least one story and see it. Again, it's not going to change the world, but you know, that's what I wanted to do. And I just I put my own story down, obviously, and I'm going to tell you my story. But if any of you are inclined to do this, that would be fantastic. Just to put down your own story. It's not like you're asking for people to, you know, protest with you. It's not like that. But I think if people, I mean, I hate to sound like this because I believe we're people, and I hate when I see things that, I hate when I see things online that says, I'm a person too. I freaking hate that. I really hate that. It drives me crazy when I see that I have to declare to people that I'm a person. I am a person. I don't feel the need to have to tell you I'm a person. But what I'm doing is I'm telling you an experience that I've had. And so that's kind of what I'm going to do now. So I can't remember the year anymore. It has been quite a while since this happened to me. But I think it's important to share. And again, if you don't follow me on Facebook, you don't know what I'm talking about. And if you do follow me on Facebook and you read my story, thank you. And so basically, I was on tour with Revlon, okay? I'd gone across the country and back. I was one of their lead makeup artists for a tour. Nothing spectacular, but it was like a tour that, you know, you go to the mall and you see Revlon set up and you're like, oh, what's that? And then basically we were all supposed to do makeovers for regular women. Nothing spectacular. Every now and then it was really dope, though. I can't even lie. Every now and then it was really dope. And I went across the country and back on a tour bus. Yes, I did, on a Rockstar tour bus. I slept in a bunk. The bunk. So I slept in my bunk, and I thought we were having a really great time, you know? I mean, it wasn't great. Don't get me wrong. Let me not over exaggerate what the hell was going on in that bus. But it was cool. It was an experience that I don't want to trade for the world. So one of our stops was Houston, Texas. And somewhat midway through the tour, Houston, Texas. We went to Dallas, went to Houston, Texas, and I can't remember, but we did like 26 cities. That's when I tell you I went across the country and back. I really did go across the country and back. And so me and my girl, Isabella, my bestie, my sister friend from that trip, we were shopping because our pastime when we're not on tour is to go shopping across the states, you know. And we were in malls, so we decided on our lunch break, let's go spend our money. So we went around the mall, you know, shopping and giggling, and like two girls normally do when they go shopping, and we're loud, you know, we're just having such a good time. So we decide to go. Now we've already pilferaged downstairs, so now it's time for us to go upstairs. What can we buy? And so, like two girls, we went upstairs and we were walking into an Urban Outfitters, and we are side by side, like here's Isabella and here's me, and we're walking side by side into the store, you know, laughing and giggling and can't wait to get to the racks to do whatever. So as we walk into the store, the alarm goes off, right? Because we have bags. Okay. We when we shop, it's like, yo, we're shopping. So we had bags on us. We both had bags on us. Right. And, the alarm goes off, but we didn't really think about anything. We were too busy talking. And the sales girl came over and said, oh, we need to check your bags, right? You know, we need to check the bags for the tags. And I was like, oh, of course, because we went shopping like mad women. Of course, I'll be happy to give you, you know, my bag. I don't care. But what happened was, now let me preface this real quick. Isabella's white. I'm black. Can you tell? Okay. And so me and Isabella are like, oh, sure, you can check our bags. Of course, you know. And then all of a sudden they say to Isabella, no, not you, her. And it was just like, what? And Isabella, who is my sister to this day, she will always be my sister. She said, well, we walked in at the same time. I don't understand why you don't want to check my bag. Why you just want to check hers? So now I'm I'm getting the feeling. I'm like, okay, here we go. This beautiful day, this beautiful fun day has turned to shit. Okay? And then they come over to me, and they kind of like, oddly, it's weird. They kind of like surrounded me and was like, Miss, we need your bag. And I was just like, well, I'm not giving you my bag. And they're like, unless you're going to check both of us, you're not going to just check me, because I don't understand what's happening. And Isabella and I were in that store for about 10, 15 minutes because they kept trying to take the bag out of my hand. They kept saying, Miss, you have to give us your bag. And I was surrounded by security, by the store manager and the sales girl, demanding that I, and only I, give them my bag. Okay. Isabella is irate. She is, first of all, she has an accent. So it's adorable. So it's like, it's this adorable accent coming out of her mouth. It's hysterical. But she's like, I don't understand what the hell is going on. This is some racist stuff. She's like having a meltdown. And I'm trying to remain calm because all Black people are not allowed to be outraged, or we're not allowed to get mad. We have to remain calm. So I'm trying to be calm, and Isabella's like screaming. And they kept insisting that I give my bag. Give us your bag. And I was like, I'm not giving you anything. So after a while, it's like a couple of minutes, they say to me, well, we're just going to call the police. And Isabella and I going, call the police? Like, how the fuck did it get like this? Call the police for what? Because I wouldn't give you my bag? So it's just like, what is going on? Isabella's still having her meltdown. She's having her tirade. And it was like, I can't believe this is happening. But you ain't getting my bag. No matter what, listen, the cops will come and you're going to drag me out of the store, and I'm going to be holding on to my bag for dear life. I'm not going to give you my bag. I'm not doing that, because it's a principal situation. The two of us walked in together. Had they just checked both of our bags, none of that would have happened. But because they single-handedly just honed in on me, the Black girl, I was like, yeah, I'm not playing this game. I'm not playing. You're not getting my bag. And I was fortunate fortunate to be blessed with a white woman who could see what was happening to me. She saw exactly what was happening to me. And she stayed right by my side. She didn't leave. They told her, by the way, oh, ma'am, don't worry about it. We're just going to talk to her. You can go shopping. Okay. like what? And she was like, I'm not leaving her side. I'm staying right here. She stayed right there with me. She refused to leave my side because she said, what the fuck is going on here? And she had a tirade. She was having a tirade in the store. She was having a meltdown in the store. She was screaming racist, 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 racist the whole time. And finally, they, as I said in my story, they allowed me to leave. They allowed me. But here's the deal. They said they were going to call they said they were going to call the police. And then Isabella and I were like, we don't want to even shop in here anymore. We want to leave. So they said she could leave, but I could not leave. I was not allowed to leave. They blocked my way from leaving because we were going to leave. And they blocked me in so I couldn't leave. So, to this day, it's just bad enough to have to deal with shopping while black, with the security people always following you around the store and all this stuff. And can I just preface this really quickly? By the way, so in this particular Urban Outfitters, in the Houston, Texas mall, I will look up my paperwork to find out what mall I was in. I don't know if it's still there. But you are like, when you walk in the door, you're literally like 25 feet away from anything. So it's not like Isabel and I walked in and started grabbing, stuff off the rack. We never got to merchandise. We were held. Well, I should say I was held and detained right at the front. So it's not like we were, the thing rang and then all of a sudden I'm in there touching stuff. I didn't touch anything. I didn't even get near the rack. I didn't, how we want to shop. We didn't even get near the racks before this happened. And so this is why this whole thing it's about this poor man who died because some white guy put his freaking leg on his neck and killed him. It's about so much. It's just not about it. It's about that, but it's so much that Black people in this country have to deal with. Now, that's just a tame shopping story. I've been detained by the police in cars with their weapons drawn, and it's like, well, what the hell did I do? I didn't do anything, but their weapons are drawn. It's just very bizarre. It's a bizarre thing to be Black in this country. And I'm sure, because I know in other countries, people complain as well. It's just bizarre to be Black because when you just want to live your life and tra-la Allah, you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to be mad. You're not allowed to show anything. You're not allowed to do this. If I get angry, oh, she's really angry. It goes from 0 to 25 when all I said was, nah, I don't agree. And then, then all of a sudden I'm like this angry Black woman. It's like, no, I just said I didn't agree. I'm not even yelling. I had a conversation with a white guy not too long ago. We weren't even talking about anything, racial. And I said, oh, no, I just don't agree. He was like, wow, you have such an attitude. I was like, I don't have how is that an attitude? I don't know. How is that an attitude? I don't agree with you. So this is what I'm saying. It's like, it's just one of these moments that's just is draining. It's exhausting. It's exhausting sometimes just to be a Black woman, Black in this country. It's just exhausting. And so I just kind of wanted to share it because a lot of people, you see all of this, when we talk about Black Lives Matter, and then white people chime in, well, white people matter too. It's not like we're not saying you don't matter. Nobody said that anybody doesn't matter. Spanish people matter. Gays matter. Black people matter. Russians matter. Everybody matters. But right now, we're just talking about Black folks. That's all it is. And it's like if we're on here and I'm talking to you guys and we're all makeup artists and all of a sudden a hair person comes on here and says, well, you're not talking about hair. Hair matters too. And I'm like, I dig you. And it does matter, but that's not what we're talking about right now. This is a channel for makeup artists. But if you want to talk about hair at another time, I'll be more than happy to do that. But right now, the subject and the topic is makeup. And that's kind of all it is as simple as I can put it. That's all it is. We're not excluding anybody else. We're just trying to be included. We're trying to get you to see us. That's all it is. And so I just kind of wanted to share that experience shopping while Black, because I think it's important that we tell our stories about what it's like being here and just doing the mundane things that white people get to do all the time. They get to just walk around and nothing happens. you know I am a pretty decent person in general, Black girl, but I'm a pretty cool person. I'm pretty damn honest, and I don't steal and I don't do all these things. But to be treated as if I am a criminal before I've even done anything is very disturbing. And to see people, Black people in this country, being treated as if they're criminals before they've even done anything, it's just exhausting. So when I say I'm sleeping a lot, either I'm on the keyboard typing my ass away, or I'm tired, because I can feel it. And to watch that poor man die, yet again, another Black person die in front of my eyes, I can't. It's traumatic. It's traumatic, and I know a lot of people say things like, well, why, they like to put Black people in a weird bubble. People get upset over Al Sharpton, and they assume that all Black people love Al Sharpton, and they think that we all do all the same exact things, and we don't. We're not a monolith. We just happen to share a trait called Black. But we all have our own individual minds. We all have our own individual ways of doing things. We are one in terms of like a family unit, but every family has a Black sheep, a scholar, a drunk, every family has all different traits, but we're not the same. And it's just, I'm exhausted from the hatred that I've been receiving just by even telling my story. And it doesn't really bother. I don't really care. Technically, I don't really care. So it's not the hatred. It's just like reading people that I know that I care about, white people that I know that I care about tremendously, show me that they are racist is exhausting, and it's hurtful, and it's painful, and you can't even have a dialogue. You can't even talk. And I'm all about talking, as you can see. I'm all about talking, and I'm all about having a conversation, even if I don't agree with you. I'm all about having conversation. And when I can't even have a conversation, I'm exhausted. And I've been hitting walls with a lot of so-called white people that have been my mentors over the years, that have done things for me over the years, in terms of like bucking me up and it's going to be okay, DeShawn. My friends who I thought were cool have said some weird ass things to me, like, oh, because of like all of this stuff. Oh, I didn't know you were so Black. It's like, wow. How do you not know I'm Black? I got Afro. How do you not know I'm Black? So it's been like that for me. It's been exhausting for me to find out that your friends could turn out to be racist, or they can turn out to have these weird little racist tendencies that you never saw before, until something like this takes off, and then you make a comment like, wow, that's really bad, or wow, that's not the way this should be. And then all of a sudden they kind of come out with their weirdness, and it's like, damn, I didn't know you were like that either. You didn't know I was Black, and I didn't know you was a racist. So it's exhausting. It's exhausting for a lot of us. Yeah, it's exhausting. It's very, very exhausting. And then same people who kind of tear you down, these white people, are the same people to post things about me like, oh, look at what she's doing. Isn't it great? I'm like, yo, you just said you didn't know I was so Black, and now somebody wants to, talk about me being Black. Now all of a sudden you want to, rah-rah me. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted, and I can't only understand how George Floyd's family feels. I can't even imagine how that feels. I can't even put myself in their place, because I think I'd be on the floor in a puddle. I think I'd be crying. I'm exhausted. So I just kind of wanted to I'd like to have this channel be kumbaya and happy, and let's talk about makeup and all that stuff. But I am compelled to just talk about that for just a minute. Yeah. So that's one black girl's tirade on this situation. I just kind of wanted to get that off my chest. I just wanted to get it off my chest. So it's hard. It's very hard. I know y'all was saying stuff, but I was too busy having a moment. Oh God. Yeah, Lisa, education is very important. Education is, oh, the sun is beating on my face. Education is very important. I think being educated in everything. I'm big on learning. Like, I'm a crazy, cuckoo crazy person on learning. So, that's why I like to have dialogues with people that I don't particularly agree with, because sometimes I can pick up on some of the nuances of what they're trying to say. You know what I'm saying? Even if here's the thing about me that I'm so fortunate in my life to have in my life are people of different races and religions, right? That allow me to ask some of the dumbest ass questions. You know what I mean? Like, just dumb questions, like things that, might be offensive. I'm not really offensive, but just things that you don't know that you're allowed to kind of act, like Jehovah's Witnesses and some of my Jewish friends. There's certain things that happen in New York. I'm sure it happens all over the world, but here in Brooklyn, we notice a lot of things. Like, why do you do that? Why is that there? Da, 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 da. They allow me to ask those questions without being defensive. They allow me to do that. And so when I am talking to somebody else, white, black, blue, green, when I have the opportunity to talk to other people who might not understand me, understand my race, understand this, and you start asking stupid questions, I'm not defensive. I'm open to it because this is a dialogue, and I get to answer you and I get to tell you things, and then you get to learn. But here lately is like, they just want, instead of asking and being inquisitive and wanting to learn, what's happening with a lot of my white friends is that they're getting defensive. Like, I explain something, then all of a sudden they get defensive. And it's like, one, I'm not calling you a racist until I do, right? You're allowed to ask these weird questions because you don't know. Ignorance is, everybody's ignorant. Everybody has their own ignorance about something. And so, sure, if you're ignorant and you ask me an ignorant question, that's okay with me because I get that you don't know. And so sometimes these questions come out in weird ways, and it's okay because my Jewish friends and my Jehovah's Witness friends and my Muslim friends and my, all of that, they allow me to ask, well, what's that all about? And how come is this? They allow me to do that. And I allow others to do that to me as well. But I am here to learn. I say to the boyfriend all the time, escuche, escuche. Meaning, listen. I'm here to listen, and I'm here to learn, and I'm here to absorb your teachings. I'm not here to defend myself to you. I'm here to learn. And what I find with a lot of white people is they don't want to listen and they don't want to learn. They just want to make their point and be right. And it doesn't matter what you say. And it's like, wow, you really don't want to learn. You just want to defend. You just want to defend your right to be a racist. That's basically it. You just want to defend your right to be racist. That's not having an open dialogue. That's really being a racist. Ignorance is not being a racist. Ignorance is just being ignorant. But when you start getting defensive and this fighting, this weird fighting that you have when you try to have a dialogue, that's not good. That means you're not open. That means you're not escuche. It means you don't want to listen. It means you have come to this conversation with a preconceived notion of what is going to fly out of my mouth. And you can't have a dialogue like that. That's why you have so many these white people standing up acting crazy. Like, yo, calm down. It's like, y'all have to calm down and listen. If people just listened to each other, it would be great. But then it's just, oh my God. I mean, it all really started with Colin Kaepernick kneeling. And then that was it. And then I've started to learn more and more things about people that I don't like and that I'm heartbroken over. So, I mean, oh my God, I'm exhausted. So Ambi says, I totally get it. As a Muslim India, we're pretty much all over the world. Of course you are. And you know what? My Indian friends allow me to ask them stupid ass questions. One of my best friends is Ijaz. you know, I get to ask Ejaz a lot of questions. And you know what Ejaz does? Ejaz gets to ask me a lot of questions. That's how I learn. I'm here to learn. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to judge your religion. I'm not here to judge it. I'm here to understand it. And I wish more people were well, I can see that people actually are into listening to us. I could see that by the marches, because it's not that there's just Black people marching. There are all kinds of people marching. And it just touches my heart to see so many people, white kids, Black kids, Spanish kids, Indian kids, Asian kids. You see them all marching. That's just the most beautiful thing in the world to me. So it's not, you know what I mean? Like, there's more to it than it's just those ignorant asses. Is that what I'm talking about? It's the ignorant ones. It's the ignorant ones. I just can't. I literally had a friend online, and he said I think he has a business. I wasn't really sure what he was protesting, because he was very upset that the death of George Floyd was interfering with him getting a cargo shipment of shoes. This better not mess up my shoe shipment. And I was like, really, dude? Really? I was like, oh my God. So I unfriended him. So that's kind of, oh God, I'm exhausted. Okay, let me read what you guys have to say. Oh my God, let me read here, people, because I could go on. Okay, right. Don't even know it until now. Ambi. I remember in high school listening to one of my Indian American classmates tell me that Muslims were scary. It was bizarre and surreal. Yeah, I mean, you got your own Johnsville, you got your own people. Listen. Let's be real. We know that you get two kind of Black people together. It could be a war as well. So I'm not trying to act like we don't do it to each other, because we do. But at the same time, I think we get ourselves enough to know that what happened to George was wrong. We get that. If we get nothing else, right? We get that, because we know that being Black, okay, comes with a class system all its own, like the poor, the rich, you know, we all know how that goes too. But we get the fact that what happened to George was just was outrageous. I don't see what see. One hot face. Hey, one hot face. The conversation has to happen. It really does. It really does. Lisa asked me, have you ever not gotten a job because you were Black? Hell yeah. You know, they never tell you, like, back in the day, remember, I'm a corporate America girl. So back in the day, the code word, like, a lot of times, like, before I was in banking, like when I was mad young, like when I was like 20, okay, I was a receptionist. So I used to always go for these receptionist jobs because, quite frankly, I was partying. I like to party, and I just wasn't into life. I was into having a great time with my friends and getting a decent paying job, which was a good receptionist job, and then like chilling, you know what I'm saying? And at the time in New York, you would go to headhunters, right? And, you know, at the time, you know, I was slim and cute, you know what I'm saying? And the code word was for job description, right? You go to a headhunter and they pull out the cards and they'd say, oh, you're a receptionist, so let me pull out this card and see how many receptionist jobs I have. And then the code word for not Black was, we're looking for an all-American girl, which meant they didn't want a Black girl. It meant they wanted a white girl at the front desk. You understand? So it would be things like that. And then I do believe, remember, they're never going to tell you, most of the time, whenever I didn't get something, it wasn't that they told me I didn't get it because I was Black. I just didn't get it. But as a Black person who is sensitive and open to it, you can say, okay, I know, okay, I got it, I know I didn't get it. And then in this industry, when you see who does get it, then you go, okay, I get it. it is almost like a normal, like when you don't get something and you see maybe perhaps a white person got it, you go, okay, I get it. They wanted a white girl. Okay, I get it. It happens a lot in our industry. It happens quite a bit in our industry. So yes, have I not? Yes. Especially when it comes to, I might do a whole, what's the word? I might do a story on when I used to study. I think I tell you guys this. I used to study agencies, makeup artist agencies, and I would see a pattern in all of these agencies where the only time that there would be a Black makeup artist in the agency is only when they came with a barrage of celebrities under their belt. So I hope you understand what I'm saying. So DeShawn, I have 1,000,002 celebrities under my belt, and I have the hottest celebrities right now. They're my clients. So those agencies would pick those types of Black people to put into on their roster. Okay. But remember, I study. Like when I tell you I study, I no joke, I studied them, and I noticed that this was a pattern, and it still is a pattern. And then I would see white people in the same agencies, and I would see that they don't have anything. They barely have anything. They barely have a celebrity. They might have a Nickelodeon person that you've never seen before. You know what I mean? Kids, they didn't have anything, but yet they're represented by this agency. And I've noticed that that's kind of how these agencies play. Well, when you're Black and you have Viola Davis, or you have, Gabrielle Union or something, they will rep you. But if you are Black and you don't have a lot of work underneath your belt, forget it. And I noticed that because I would, not only am I studying everything that's in the portfolio online in an agency, of course, I go offline. I go and look at every individual's website. Yes, she's crazy, crackhead, crazy. But it was just something fun I used to do until I started noticing this weird pattern. And I would go off and I would start looking at everybody's website. Everybody's website. I didn't care who you were. I would look at everybody's website and I would see a pattern, which was young white girl who barely has anything, any work underneath her belt. She got repped by this huge agency. Oh, this Black person seems to have a plethora of A-list Black people. They're repped. It was just this have and have nots world. It was very interesting to see. It's very interesting to decipher how they do it. The other thing that agencies would do is, how do you explain? It's going to be weird because it is weird. It's weird. So they would do this thing where if you read the bio, because I read everybody's bio. So if you read the bios, instead of, let's say, I don't have a heritage outside of America. So I noticed that when people do, it's always like, let's say it's DeShawn from Jamaica. It was never like DeShawn from Brooklyn. It was always like DeShawn from Jamaica or DeShawn from France. It was always like something other than American. This is what they put. Even if I was DeShawn from Brooklyn and my heritage was from France, instead of making me just a Black girl, it always had to have some type of other attached to it that I've noticed. And it was like little things like that I noticed. But over a period of I don't know, I really had a lot of time on my hands, didn't I? I would say over a period of maybe 5 years of looking at everything, I started to notice a pattern in agencies where it was very rare. It was very rare that I would see just a normal, everyday Black person repped. It was very abnormal to see just a normal Black person that wasn't attached to anything, that didn't have much of anything, repped by any one of these huge, agencies that will get you these big gigs. So there's my story. So I keep saying that I should do like a story on it because that's what I noticed. I have not, I haven't done that, and I haven't really researched these agencies as of late. So I can say that, but I know that 5 years ago, for sure, that was a pattern that kept happening over and over and over again. And I know a lot of these people. I know a lot of these people that are repped in a lot of these things, and so these high-end agencies that will get you those types of gigs. I've noticed that. So it was a pastime of mine, but I have noticed it. Oh, believe you me, I have noticed it. Inside Out. Oh, thank you. It's Inside Out. Girl, Glenn, I read your post about being profiled. You cried. I was pissed. Glenn, I was pissed. Hey, sweetheart, Glenn. I was pissed. Okay, once you know better, you do better. That's my favorite. Like, I know Oprah says that a lot. I'm not sure if she got that from the great Maya Angelou, because I think everything comes out of Oprah's mouth is probably attached to Maya Angelou. But yeah, once you do know better, you do better. And that's how I feel. It's like, you know, if you're open, you have to be open to conversation. You know what I'm saying? You just have to be open. I've been dragged by people in conversation. You should have seen, like, when I did that video about, oh crap, what was it? The Cardi B thing. I laugh about it all the time because people were calling me coon. They were calling me all these things. And I was just, and each time they called me a name, I'm a New Yorker. Nothing penetrates this. Okay, I'm a New Yorker. But I just remember going, no, I think, and I'm still trying to have a dialogue. I'm still trying to say, well, I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. Let me clarify for you so maybe you know, you get what I'm saying now. Do you understand what I'm saying now? And every now and then somebody would say, yeah, oh, I see. I didn't understand. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have called you that. I said, I don't care. It's cool. But I just want you to understand. And I literally broke my keyboard writing back to all of those people. I was exhausted. Because the whole thing just imploded. Like, people were like, what do you mean? Oh, you think celebrities are better? You think it's okay to be abused? I was like, no, where is this coming from? And so I was trying in my own way to kind of explain what I had meant, because I could see that it was just like erupting into this craziness. And I was like, wow, I need to clarify a few things, because if people think I think that we should be abused at work, that's not what I meant. Good God. Danielle, hey Danielle, it's the entitlement that's what causes them to just be a stone wall when it comes to understanding others' perspectives. Perhaps, honey, listen, I don't know what creates the stubbornness in people in general, but don't know what that is. I know I could be a stubborn ass, but that's just because I refuse to listen to you. I will stand my ground, and maybe that's what it is. I'm not going to listen to you. I don't care what you have to say. Then my whole point is then it's not a dialogue, is it? You just want to yell at me. You know what I mean? Oh, I've been yelled at. I've been cursed out. Oh my God, it's like, and I didn't say it. I was just like, oh, well, maybe you don't understand. Oh, I understand. And then they just go off and they have a meltdown, and, you know, and they get defensive and they cry. Oh God, bloodshed happened on both sides, but it's high time we stop living the past. Yes, and start afresh. Can we please start afresh? Yes, Ambi. So, Nikki, hi, Nikki. Thank you so much. I would like to let everyone know what a true, beautiful being. Oh, thank you. I'm not sure if you remember me, but I emailed you over 10 years ago. I met you at the makeup shop. Nikki, I don't even see your daggone face. How can I remember a woman named Nikki K without a picture, Nikki K? But if I met you, then that meant my life got better. So that's how I look at it. When I get to meet all of you, my life got better. Oh, look at you, Jazz. I was just talking about you. Hi, Jazz. Everybody say hi, Jazz. Hey, Jazz. Oh my God, I was just talking about your crazy ass. He is. I always have to plug him. I always have to plug E-Jazz because he truly is. I know people go, oh God, DeShawn, you say that about all your friends. But no, I really mean it. I really mean it. I really, 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 really mean it. If you guys please go to E-Jazz Con Photography, right? E-Jazz, I forget. E-Jazz Photography. Or is it E-Jazz Earth? What is it? Just type it out. Please go to his website or go to his Instagram. It is so beautiful. He takes the most beautiful pictures of wildlife you have ever seen. It will make you fall in love with animals, because I was like, who cares about a freaking Arctic wolf? And now I love them. So if you get the chance, please go check out his stuff. It is gorgeous. I'm sorry, I had to digress because I always like try to push E-Jazz down everybody's throat. Oh my God, help me. Okay, moving on. I'm Black British. I met you in May in 2007. I now live in LA. Oh, Black British, Nikki. Okay, Nikki, let my brain percolate that joint. Okay, you're supposed to do better, but here's the thing: people have have to know better and will still, yes, people, Lisa, you're right. People will know better and they just are so stubborn and they're so stuck on themselves and their way, you know, oh God, it's like people are afraid to share. I always used to say that. I used to say, wow, they really just don't want to share. And it's like that. It's like as simple as I can put it. Like, you know, you can share your toys and you won't lose out. And I feel like, you know, I mean, this country's built on whatever, slavery and whole 9 yards. And it's not just black people, by the way. God, don't get me started on the Indians because I don't even want to call them called natives. So a beautiful native woman told me we are not called Indians, we are called natives. And so, but, you know, let's not talk about that. But the point is like, you could play with us. We're not going to steal from you. We can't start fresh, but we can heal and move forward. Yes, exactly, Lisa. That's it. Ejaz Khan Earth. Please go check it out. Oh, hi, Maxine. Please check out Ejaz. I'm telling you, listen, I'm always telling I try to always tell the truth. If it's crap, I wouldn't tell you to go. But it just, you know what it is? When you go to Ejaz's thing, you get to look at other things. Your mind goes away. You get to look at beautiful things that have nothing to do with people. It's all beautiful animals. It's just gorgeous. I really, really love it. I really, really love it. Oh my God, I really, really love it. Nicole Hamilton, I can't update the image to show you. Crap. Well, we got to figure that out. And so Miriam Beck, I read your story, DeShawn. It was an awful situation. I'm sorry you had to go through that. I appreciate that, Miriam. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I had to go through that too. I'm telling you, it was a shocker. I'm pretty aware of things. And even I even was taken out. I was taken aback and I think I'm a pretty enlightened person when it comes to crap like that. And even it took me by surprise. So that tells you just how kind of like, that sucker but you know, this is what I say. This is what I said in my story when I, posted it online about Isabella. She stood by my side. She refused to leave. They kept telling her to leave. They kept telling her, oh, ma'am, you could go shopping. Oh, ma'am, you feel free to leave if you want to. She refused to leave me. She wouldn't leave me. And that's the biggest thing that I'm saying is like, she's a white girl. When we come together, we're unstoppable. But I see, like, I don't know if you guys watch this show. It's I love the show. I hate the show because it always makes me cry. I'm like always crying. I freaking hate it. But it's called What Would You Do? And it's on Channel 7. It's on ABC, Channel 7, whatever you call it. And they had a situation just like this, but basically What Would You Do creates situations live with actors, like basically what just happened to me, what I just told you. Now, instead of it being DeShawn, they'll put an actor in its place and they'll reenact the thing and they'll set it up to, so regular people would be looking on to see what's happening and what would they do. And similar situation they had, I just found it online, just found it on YouTube. In 2010, they had something very similar to what I had gone through, except it was just a normal Black girl trying to shop. And then they were saying things to her. They say nasty things to get bystanders' attention. And they were saying horrible things to her. And the white people just kind of were like, they just didn't help her. And they knew she did, because after it's all over, they'll walk up to people and say, so what did you do? Well, we saw that you did nothing. Why? They do that. And so a lot of times they'll say, well, I didn't know her. I didn't know what the situation was, but you did. And so my point is, if you are a white lady in a store and you see a Black lady who literally haven't done anything. I mean, you could tell when sometimes I used to work in stores. So you can kind of tell, you'd be like, but for the most part, you can kind of generally feel when somebody's just telling you the truth. You can step in, stand by that girl's side. Don't walk away and say, that's not my problem. And that's the problem with it, is there's so many I hate to say white people, but as so many white people tend to look at Black people in that type of situation, because that's what was happening for me around the store, looking at me as if to say, well, if she's not guilty, then why didn't she give the bag? What's the problem? If it wasn't for Isabella's big mouth, if it wasn't for Isabella screaming the way she was, I'm pretty sure I would probably I'd still be standing there in the store, because it's like, when you gotta, each one, we need help. Black folks need help sometimes, and it's a shame that we do. It's a shame that I have to say to white people, hey, the next time you see me in a store and I'm pulled over by security, could you come help me? I mean, it sucks that a grown woman has to seek out others to help them. But it is the case. It is what it is. That is the case. Listen, when I'm hanging out with my white friends, right? And it's time for me to go home, especially when I was in Brooklyn, they would literally say, especially back in the day, they would say to me, let me get you a cab. Why would they do that? Because they knew in New York City, I wouldn't get a cab because nobody would stop for me. And they wanted to make sure I got home. So they would go out and get the cab and then hold the door open. They had to hold the door open so I could get in, because a lot of times when they would see a Black person approaching a cab, they would pull off. So they know, my white friends knew, we have to make sure DeShawn gets home and we have to make sure she gets a cab. So we have to go out and get her the cab. So this is what I'm saying. And it's like, and I know a lot of white people say, oh, DeShawn, I have a hard time getting cabs too. It's like, you're just missing the point. I have walked up on cabs where they literally have locked the door on me. I walked up on a cab. Here's another story. Here's another story. Talking about cabs. Now I'm going off on a tangent, but it wasn't a white person. Sorry, Ijaz, it was an Indian person who did this to me. But it was I was shooting. I lived in the Bronx and I was shooting in Brooklyn. Okay. So I was testing. So this is a long time ago. So I was testing in Brooklyn. I was at Pratt Institute, Pratt in Brooklyn, where there's the art school and stuff, right? Art University, right? So we shot until like crazy crackhead in the morning. I got there, I think, at around 9 o'clock in the morning. We didn't finish shooting until like 12:30 at night. And then the model was kind of new. Like she didn't know her way around New York, and it was really late. And normally I would have been like, pieces, deuces, I'm out, right? See you later. But I could tell she didn't know where she was going. It was a weird, like around Pratt is beautiful, but it was just like a weird time. And I just felt bad about leaving her alone. So I said, come on, honey, I'll take the train with you. And then I'll get you to where you need to go. And then from there, I'll just take a cab home. So we get to a part in Manhattan. Everything's fine. We get into the cab. I say to the cab driver, hey, there's going to be 2 stops. You're going to drop her off at the Chelsea Hotel, which is on 23rd Street. And then I have to go all the way to the Bronx. And most of the time when Black people have to go anywhere outside of Manhattan, we apologizing. We're going, oh, thank you so much for taking us. Oh, please. It's ridiculous. So I said, sir, we're going to the Chelsea Hotel, and then I have to go to the Bronx. And I said, you understand that? And he said, yes, I get it. And I said, okay, fantastic. Okay. So I'm kind of like relaxing. We drop her off at the Chelsea Hotel. We're on 23rd Street. And then all of a sudden we would drive up to the next light. So technically we'd be like 2 more blocks up. It is like 3 o'clock in the morning now. It took us almost 2 hours just to get to Manhattan. It's a long story. At the time, the G train was a piece of crap. So it took us a long time just to get to Manhattan. Okay. So now it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. I have literally been up since 7 something in the morning. It's now 3 o'clock in the morning. I just want to go home. All of a sudden we pull up to the light and the cab driver says, get out. And I was like, huh? What do you mean get out? I'm not going to the Bronx. Get out. And I was just like, I'm exhausted. And I was lucky that I got the cab in the first place because, of course, hailing cab while Black is not the greatest thing in the world. And he was like, get out, get out. And I was like, sir. And I was like so tired. I was like, sir, I've been up all day and all night. I just really just want to go home. Can you please take me home? Get the fuck out of my cab. And I thank God I normally, when I get into cabs, I always have my bag with me. Why? Because it's small and it's condensed. But that's another story. So I had my bag literally right next to me. So the bag was like right here. He comes out of the cab, goes around, opens the side door, reaches in, grabs my bag, and throws it out the cab. I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm not leaving. Now I'm not leaving. Now, so he reaches in, grabs me, and throws me out the door. Okay. And then he just sped off like a crazy person. This is what I'm talking about, because he didn't want to go to the Bronx. Because one, the Bronx to many people is dangerous, though I lived in a really nice section of the Bronx. But this is what we go through as Black people. Now, if you can find a white person with a story like that, then we share something. We have common ground. But this is, again, this is another moment of wild Black. It is what it is, you know? It's exhausting. I didn't there was nothing to do. He threw me out of the cab. He literally threw me out of the cab. There was no paying him. He didn't care. He didn't even care about the fare from wherever I think he picked us up from downtown and drove us up there. He didn't even care about that. By the way, he waited for that white girl to get out of that cab, by the way. He waited for her to go into her little nice little thing, drove up to the next light and told me to get the fuck out. Okay. Yes, he did, Donswell. Yes, he did. He literally first took the bag and threw it out. And then I was like, that's it. First of all, I was exhausted and I was almost in tears. And I was like, nope. I just want to go home. And he literally reached in and tugged me and pulled me out of the car. I mean, he didn't want to go to the Bronx. And by the way, the section of Bronx that I live in at that time of the morning, he would have gotten there in less than 20 minutes. So it's not like I was asking him to drive an hour out of his way. He would have been there in 20 minutes. 20 minutes. He didn't want to do it. He wanted to pull my Black ass out the cab. And had I, it's like, and back in the day, when you have, like, when you're in a cab, you can see their names, but it didn't even dawn on me. I was so tired to look at it. Normally I look at it, I talk to them, hey, how you doing? But that night I was just so tired. I didn't even think to look at it. And even when I reported it the next day, they were like, well, we don't know where you were. But I was like, oh, forget it. I'm done. I was like, I'm done. How did you get home? I got home. It's 3:00 in the morning. So it's kind of desolate at that time. So cabs are kind of more willing to pick you up at that point. So when he threw me out of the cab, the way he did, slammed it and pulled off. And then I kind of sat there stunned. I said, listen, it doesn't matter if you're stunned, girl, you got to get home. And so there was another cab coming and I was like, oh, please. And I was, it's like, as you just pray. This is what you go through in your head as a person as a Black person trying to hail a cab. You pray that they will take you. You pray that they will take you. You pray that they don't just drive by you, which happens quite a bit. They don't even see you. They refuse to see you. And so this cab, had stopped and I told him what just happened. He was like, what? I can't believe it. I was like, yes, sir. Because I was just like, sir, I'm exhausted. I just want to go home. I was like almost in the back in tears. I just want to go home. I just want to go home. I mean, it was like ridiculous. Who goes through this? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Yeah, he was an Indian American person. And Black people deal with tons of discrimination in Asian countries. It's really disheartening. Yeah. It is, I hate to sound like it is what it is, but it is what it is. It is a reality for Black people that I don't think a lot of people truly understand. You hear these stories, or maybe you don't, I don't know. But for every cab story, for every, weird story I have 20,000 more to tell you. These just these are the ones that pop out of my head. But you know, if I really think about, oh, I got another one, oh, I got another one, oh, I got another one. It's just, it's constant. It's constant. And so it's just, it's exhausting. It could just be very exhausting. But yeah. No, I didn't, Marilyn. I didn't even, you know what it is? It's like when you're in that state, when you think that you are settled into the cab finally, and it was just such a long day. It was like a 16-hour day. I still haven't gotten home yet. I was tired. Like I was just tired. And I thought that, okay, now I can kind of settle in and chill out. And that's when he pulled off and I kind of relaxed. And then when he stopped short the way he did and to get the fuck out, I was like, huh? It didn't even dawn on me to look at anything. I just was startled. I was startled, you know, and then, you know, you're not even paying. It's so hard to describe it. It's like all of a sudden, here's this crazy person getting out of his car. You don't know what he's going to do. And then he comes around, he pulls the door open, get out. And he took the bag and threw it out. And I was just, you don't think. It's like all of a sudden you're just shocked. It's just like a shock moment. Like, whoa, what is happening? My brain was not saying, oh, get that number. It was just like, oh, damn, what is happening now? I'm exhausted. That's what that was all about. But he was definitely an Indian gentleman, an Indian American gentleman who did that to me. So I'm not going to blame all white people for everything. There's discrimination enough to go around, you know? But yeah, but it sucked. It just sucks. It just sucks. And so I just, as I say, and by the way, hi, Marilyn. I just wanted to just let you know, it's important, I think, that we share our weird, wackadoo, racist experiences because I think sometimes as Black people, we tend to talk amongst ourselves and, you know, we share the war stories amongst ourselves. And I don't think that a lot of times people realize how much you go through on a daily basis. And sometimes it's not racist acts per se, but you always have to gear up for something. You're always like, you know, okay, what's happening? Okay. Oh, you know, oh, you got to be careful when you go into the store, you know, you're going to be followed, or it's always something. It's always something, you know. I can dig it if I was a criminal and people knew I was a criminal and they were watching out for me. I could dig that. I can totally understand that. I used to work in retail and we had people, all different people, black, white, blue, green, but we had different people on the wall in there that said, don't let these people in, or, you know, you have to be careful. So I understand that when you see things like that, you have to pay attention to a particular person that will walk in. But I mean, I can literally tell you story after story after story after story. And after a while, it just wears on you. You're exhausted by it all. You're just absolutely exhausted, you know? Like sometimes like microaggressions that you deal with every day. I was in a Dwayne Reed up here before I moved up here. This is one of the reasons why I didn't want to move up here. I'm a Black girl with an afro. I don't have a perm. I have an afro. So that in itself sets white people off sometimes when you have an afro. So it was literally in the Dwayne Reed. And I was just, you know, it was, again, yes, yet another lovely day. I'm in the Dwayne Reed. And I'm kind of like tra-la-la, because I like to shop. You know I do. And I just kind of like, we were online trying to get our stuff. And the woman backed into me, but Black people have a tendency to say, oh, sorry, when people back into us. I've stopped doing that. But she backed into me. And then I said, oh, sorry, like that. And she just kind of was like this. She just did this. And then I was like, damn, was that necessary? Like, it's like, what is that? It's like little things like that. It's just bizarre. It's very difficult to really get people to understand unless I literally give you a litany of all the things that have happened to me in my old ass age of living here, and not even here, abroad, not, you know, all over the place. Little microaggressions that I encounter. another one. The boyfriend and I have been at the time. He kept saying, "Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? You know, for a trip." And I was like, "I want to go to Vermont." And he was like, "I don't want to go to Vermont." And I was like, "But I really just want to go to Vermont. That's all I want to do. I know it's not sexy, but I just want to go to Vermont. That's all I want to do. I just want to go to Vermont." And so finally he goes, after years, by the way, he goes, "Okay, let's go to Vermont." I'm like, "Oh, thank God. I want to go to Vermont. I want to go to Vermont." So I just really wanted to go to Vermont. I know I have weird things. I like weird things. So we get to Vermont and we're at this really cute restaurant and then we're having our breakfast. And you notice when people are looking at you, right? You notice when people are staring at you. You get this vibe, like this weird vibe that comes at you. Somebody's staring at, like something's happening around me. What is going on? And then like right in front of me, not right in front of me, but like down, like 6 tables down, there was this white boy. And he just did this to me the whole time. He was staring at me like that. And like, he was not like inquisitive, like, "Oh, who is this young lady?" Like he could kill me. He was staring at me so hard. The girl that he was with was talking the entire time. And he was just staring at me like he wanted to kill me. It was just interesting. It was like, wow, is this what the fuck? I just wanted to come to Vermont to chill out. What the hell is this? He just was staring and staring. And I just was like, oh my God. And believe me, I don't have that kind of ego to think, "Oh, I was so beautiful. That's why he was staring at me." No. The homeboy was staring at me something fierce. He didn't even blink. He was just staring at me in very weird, menacing way. How do you report that to police? I don't know. But these are things I'm just trying to get you guys to understand. It's just very, 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 very weird. It's just a strange thing to have to deal with. New York City has always been a messed up place for Blacks and Latinos. Grew up there and shit hasn't changed. They don't even let a Black man help build the bridges 100 years ago. Exactly. Unfortunately, like I just said, I was in Vermont and it happened. Happens. Listen, I would love to blame New York for all the racist acts that has ever happened. But unfortunately, like I said, I've been across this country and back, and I've experienced the story I told at the top was in Houston. It had nothing to do with New York. So, you could blame it on the metropolitanness of New York, but honestly, it happens everywhere. And that's the whole point. This is the whole point of me having this type of open dialogue, is to let you know that it's just not a New York thing. This happens everywhere to everybody that happens to be Black and or a minority. It happens. It's not just a New York issue. It is everywhere. It is prevalent in our society. And that is why you see what you see now. You see this eruption. You see that people won't even go home. They said go home at 8. They're like, hell no, I'm staying here. They see what is happening. Finally, that Black folks don't feel like they're crazy, because a lot of times things happening and you think, did I just see what I saw? Did I see that? Because it's so inner. It's so small sometimes, these microaggressions that we get at us, that you go, am I crazy? Wait a minute. I don't want to be tripping. Like, I don't want to say a person's a racist, or I don't want to say this about this person. Am I tripping? Let me check myself. That's what happens, because it happens so often, and it doesn't matter where you live. It really doesn't matter. She said, I want my racist to be open with me. New York hides it in your face, but we're not stupid. No, New York is see, again, I don't know. I know you say you're from here, but I'm a New Yorker my whole life, with the exception of moving to Boston and back for a minute. I think New York is pretty, it's pretty in your face here. It's pretty like bang. It's like here's the racism. Boom. It hits you in the head. I think some other places that I've been to, it is a little bit more nuanced. Like, they'll say nasty things to you with a smile on their face. Like, you don't need to be in here now. Here, girl, you hear me? Like, oh, okay, I got you. I'm out. Like, yeah, but I'm a New Yorker, and I happen to, no matter what I go through, I will always love my city. So I find I think New York is full of people who are aggressive and rude and everything, but it's more, I feel it's more at you here. I feel like in other parts, it's more over, what is it? Overt? No, not overt. Calmer. I don't know what the word is right now, but I feel like it's different. It's just, it's not so in your face. It's just more, like I said, dude is staring at me like he could kill me. Like he could kill me. That's the thing I got from him. It wasn't pleasant. What he was doing wasn't pleasant. He was staring me down the entire time. And it was uncomfortable for having to have some white dude stare at you the entire time you have a lovely meal, you know. And of course, my boyfriend's back was completely turned to him. He couldn't see what was happening. He couldn't see it. And he just stared at me like he could kill me. He just stared me down. Listen, it is what it is. Sis, my family is from the West Coast. My sister moved to Atlanta and she was in the post office. She told me that an old white woman came up to her and said, I wish we were still hanging, you guys. Well, damn, Dawnsful. Well, damn. I wish we were still hanging, you guys. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Little micro. that's not a little microaggression. That's aggression. Yeah. Little things like that. You hear it all the time. It's just interesting. It's just, racism is interesting. Racism mixed with hatred is interesting. It's interesting. Like, you have got to be kidding me. Yeah, see, look at that. Nappy Mac Diva 3. Hi, Nappy Mac Diva 3. Michigan has its issues. I'm telling you, the South, the Midwest is more open with their racism. New York gaslights you. Yeah, I don't find that. I find that, I mean, you gaslit everywhere. I mean, a lot of things that you see that are online have nothing to do in New York. A lot of things, I just watched a tape. A woman had videotaped. Now, again, I will always preface this by saying, I don't know what preceded the video. I can only tell you what I saw in the video, okay? Homeboy, black dude, mid-30s, hands up, right? The black lady's recording him like this. She's in the car, she's recording. Hands are up. I don't know what happened. She seems to not understand what happened. Two white cops come. The guy's hands are up. The cop does a running jump kick in his back. And then the other white guy says, resisting arrest. And then grabs him and starts to beat him up. Then a third cop comes over to the woman who is now hysterical, black lady. Now she's hysterical. And he is literally telling her she did not see what she just saw. He said to her, now you understand what just happened, right? We're just here to detain you. You know, what just happened was, you see, he just tried to resist arrest. Homeboy's hands was up like this. So I don't know what you're talking about. It's this gaslighting. I always say it's gaslighting. It's exactly it. It's gaslighting. It had nothing to do with New York. It's a gaslighting that they're trying to do to black people to tell us it's not as bad as we think it is. It is that bad, you know? And it's, again, it's not just a New York thing. It's everywhere. It is prevalent everywhere. It's just, it's too much. Even in Trinidad, Tobago, I have been followed in stores by the black security guards. Of course you have, because they're getting paid by a white person. And they want to make sure that you, black girl, don't steal. Because you black, you're shifty. You know, it's like that dude. I don't know the name of the guy in Django Unchained who Sam Jackson plays him. Amazing job. But it's like him. It's like Uncle Rucka in oh my God, in that cartoon that we have for black people, Uncle Rucka. We always have black people who will do the bidding of racists. I mean, that's just the way it is. You know, I would love to think that we don't have black people like that, but we do. So I'm not ignoring the fact that we have black people who would turn in other black people. Sure, of course, you know, but I think that goes across the board. And, you know, whenever somebody's paying you, you need to feed your kids and you have an inferiority complex, there lies Uncle Rucka and the dude from Django Unchained. You know what I mean? It's very interesting. Hi, Belinda. uh, Born and raised in New York, I don't have the love you have for it. I prefer Los Angeles. See, I find, and no offense to Los Angeles people, but I find Los Angeles people to be very gaslighty. I find that they will say really nice things to you. They'll be the types of people say, I'll call you. And you never hear from them. That's how I take LA. That's how I take LA. Whenever I've flown out there for meetings, oh my God, you're great. Oh my God, we love you. Oh, they just love you, love you, love you. New Yorkers will tell you, yeah, that's not good. they'll tell you to your face, nah, we don't like it. That's not good. That's how I take New York. I'm not saying that we don't have people who don't want to hurt people's feelings, but I find that LA is just a lot of, yeah, oh yeah, that's great, that's cool, yeah, I'll call you, let's do lunch, la 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 la, and then nothing, then crickets. Yeah, add some more. Yeah, stand up for yourself. The Boondocks, thank you. Our beauty matters. I love that, by the way. Thank you. Yes, the Boondocks, which is, I can't even, because I was going to say something. I'm not going to say it on here. Just to watch the Boondocks. I have family there, so I still visit. I found out an older white lady called my son the N-word when he was only 8. He was with another family member. I would have been in jail. I know. Oh, that word. So Marilyn's telling me, yeah, true, but I was able to get an apartment and it wasn't gaslight. I mean, like I said, I don't think that it's just a New York thing. I think gaslighting is everywhere. Like I said, that story I just told you about the 3 cops involved, they want to, the one cop came to the lady and said, he literally said, you didn't see what you just saw. This is what just happened. He literally just said that. I was just like, are you kidding me? I just saw it. What are you talking about? So it's just like, dude, I can see. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. So she says, oh yeah, like I said, I'm from the West Coast. People here want to think they are progressive and they can't admit that they have some screwed up thinking. Exactly. I'm not saying, believe me, I gave you story after story about being having racist moments here. I'm not sitting here saying that New York does not have racist moments. I just think I just find New Yorkers to be very kind of in your face. That's how I take New York. That's exactly how I take New York. Oh my God. So if you guys have any questions, I didn't really mean to turn this into the whole, let me tell you what happened to me. But I just feel like there's got to be some type of like dialogue that we should be able to speak and have conversation. I don't agree with Marilyn. Marilyn doesn't agree with me. It's okay. It's okay. But there has to be more dialogue and less of this racist crap that's going on. I'm still bordering on, should I unfriend these people who were very, very dear to me? Like, I am dying over the fact that these people have shown some extreme racist tendencies. And I still feel like, oh God, I feel bad. It just hurts my heart to have to unfriend people. I'm not an unfriender. I'm more of like, we don't have to talk, but to unfriend people is like a deep thing, you know what I'm saying? But I just feel the need to unfriend. I really do. I was on Zoom for Black Health and Wellness today, and somehow a racist got in there and started talking bad about George. They can't help it. They got to chime in. I can't believe we don't have anything on here. I can't. I'm gonna have to go back and read to see if there's certain words that I will not allow on this board. Yeah. So there could have been 1 or 2, because last week we didn't really have a racist. We just had idiots. I normally don't get the racists as much as I get idiots, That goes across the board. Idiots are all colors. Okay. You could be an asshole, idiot, all of that. And it doesn't matter what color you are. You're just an idiot. I unfriended one so far. I did too. I unfriended one with a guy who said he was very upset that George is like the thing that's happening right now, the protesting was interfering with his shoe shipment. And I was like, I can't even hang with you anymore, dude. I can't take it. I can't take your racist ass. I just can't take it. And then in the past, I've tried to have conversations with him, and we try to have conversations. We try. And he just keeps flaring dumb shit out of his mouth. And it's so, what's it, hurtful, I guess, like, really? I can't. At Nappy, why am I not surprised that happened on the Zoom call? What does talking bad about George Floyd have to do with Black healthcare? Like, does that guy want to say that racism contributes to it, to health consequences for Black people? Ugh. Oh, the powder group. So yes, one of my powder group friends invited me. Got you. Oh, I forgot. I'm gonna be oh crap. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna be on a Zoom. Speaking of Zoom and Black people, I'm gonna be on when you said the powder group, my brain jumped. I'm gonna be on a Zoom. I don't know what you call it. I don't know. I'm gonna be on Zoom, I believe next Thursday. Oh God. I'm not good at promoting, can you tell? I'm going to be on a Zoom conference about Black folks. I'm not the one that sells shit. I'm terrible. But yeah, so go to the powder group, the pggroup.com, and you will see this happening. That's my face. And I am on Summit. Yeah, I'm on a Black person's discussion on the industry, what it's like to be a Black person in the industry, such and such and such and such. I have no idea what I'm going to say. I never know what I'm going to say. I just start talking. But that will be either Tuesday or Thursday. Do not quote me. I'm a horrible, horrible person. I should have written it down. I'm bad at this. Or follow me. I'll put it on Instagram. So I'll put it up on Instagram tonight or something. So please come and join. Have a enlightened moment. It's me, it's Morel, who does Wendy Williams, it's the twins, Denise and Janice Tornell, Marietta Carter Narcisse, me, and I'm so sorry to say I do not know the other two fabulous ladies that are joining. I don't know them per se, so their names are not sticking in my head. But yeah, come on over. Don't let a sister sit there and have nothing to say. Come on over. And you just have to sign up for it. You have to literally sign up for it. So it's not like something you could just pop over and look at. You have to sign up for it. Yeah, a summit, I guess. Something like that. And then don't forget that on here, oh my God, her name is Joy, and her name is escaping me. Please forgive me. But she has something on here on You and the Tube called the ABE Always Black Experience. I'm bad with this. Anyway, ABE, her name is Joy. It's on here, and she had a 3-day summit of Black creatives on here, and it was amazing. And you should look at that as well. It was very, 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 very interesting. Thank you, Layton. Thank you. It would be helpful if I knew when I'm supposed to be on. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's Thursday, June 11th. Thank you, my darling. Yes, Joy. Thank you. Joy Fennell. I was going to say Joy Bryant, but I knew that was an actress. So I knew I was wrong. I didn't want to say it. Joy Fennell. Please share the link on the community board. I will, Miriam. As soon as I find it, I will. I think, I don't know, unless you guys have something else to tell me. She out. I promise. Next week we'll go back to talking about makeup. I swear to God. Thank you, Nat. Yeah, thank you, Belinda. I hope that I can join. I might be working at that time. I hope everyone goes enjoys the Zoom meeting. I hope everybody goes enjoys the Zoom meeting too. Like I said, I don't know what the questions are. I don't know what's happening, but I am happy to participate and lend my big mouth to the conversation. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, people. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, nappy. Yes, nappy. Yeah, sometimes we have to address other stuff. I know, especially at this time. I know. You know, last week I wanted to talk about it too, and I just was like, I just want to talk about makeup. Like, I just wasn't in the mood to have like this like conversation, you know. But I'm glad that I did, and I appreciate you guys. I really do appreciate you all listening. And joining and chiming in with what you feel, and that's fine with me. This is always up for discussion. Um, that's how I feel about it. Do you have to be a member of the powder group, or can anyone join? That's a good question. Go to the powder group Facebook page and see. I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's free. That's what I thought. I thought it was free. So Ambi, yeah, check that out. I'm pretty sure that I thought it was free, and I don't think it's just for powder group people. It has messed with my creativity, but getting back to makeup. Yeah, me too. Like, you know what it is like I keep saying week after week after week after week. Oh, I got something for you. I got some stuff for you guys. I got some stuff for you guys. And it feels like every week here lately, or if it's not the COVID, then it's like the crazy white lady in the Central Park choking a dog to death and then yelling at black people, to now George. It's just, it feels like it's just been a never ending, you know, like brakes, you know, you're in the car and somebody keeps putting their foot on the brake. And that's what it feels like. And so I've been trying to launch a class for you guys for rates and negotiation for the longest. And I haven't been able to do it because I've just been on this weird break thing where life is breaking for me every 5 seconds. And I'm losing my trend, you know, I'm losing my train of thought because I'm so preoccupied in other things. But I do have a rates and negotiation webinar that will be coming up in not this month because she can't take it, but in a couple of weeks, like 6 weeks from now. It's going to be live, definitely on Zoom, because Zoom is the better place to have these things where I can see you people if you want to be seen. But it's on rates and negotiation, and it's teaching you all about the truth. I'm teaching you all the truth, and I'm teaching you how I made my first several $1,000s in one day by doing what I did. And I'm going to pass that along to you. Yeah, you know, like when you read all the stuff and people say, oh, just add up how much you want, and then there's your rate. It's like, oh, please, I can't take it anymore. So I made up this class for you guys. It's a couple of hours, so you have to commit to me for a couple of hours of your time. There will be a little handbook for you as well. And we're going to get into the nitty and the gritty, and I will be giving you rates on what we make. So you get that answer, like how much does it cost for, or how much you get paid for the boom, or how much does this get? Boom. I'm going to give you that in that class. So you are fully informed, but I will also give you my formula of how I was able to make X amount of money when I wasn't even that old in the business. I think it's important that enough with the BS. I'm going to give you the truth. So that will be coming your way. I will concentrate this week and get that out. It will go up on the assisting rules board shortly. And that's what I'm going to be doing. Yes, that's another reason why. Yes, Belinda, that's another reason why I wanted to do the class, because I do recognize that this is going to change dramatically. And if you guys are not armed with knowing things during this period of time, you're not going to get the money you want. In fact, people are going to expect us to cut our rates, and we are not cutting our rates. We're upping our rates in the whole 9 yards. So yes, during this funky time, we have to be armed with information. And if you are not armed with the proper information, you're going to get left by the wayside. Okay. So we will get on that. We will get on it. So that's what's coming up for you beautiful people. I promise to post. I'll be posting on the community board, and then I will be posting on DeShawnHatcher.com, and I'll be posting on Instagram. I've been cock blocked a lot, so I'm not allowed to post classes anywhere anymore. No board allows me to post any classes. So you really do have to follow me in order to find out what I'm up to, because suddenly nobody can post anything. Nobody can post a class. It's ridiculous. So, please follow me so you know when this class is coming up. And that's it. The rates are going up because of sanitation and people that are actually following. Yeah, man. At Nappy, I might be crazy, but people are willing to be exposed to COVID and possibly do well for haircuts. Maybe people will pay similar amounts of money once COVID is contained. I mean, once you go up, you ain't going to come back down. So that's the other thing we'll be talking about. That was a new thing. Like, I already had this class kind of pre-planned for you guys for a long time. And then when the COVID hit and I started really talking to people about what's happening within our industry, I was like, oh, this is interesting. Let me share the juice to my people. Yeah. Yeah, this is why we need discussion. This is why we need discussion. It's vital to have discussion. So, people, I have one last slice of pizza left. I'm going to go eat my pizza because she's hungry. I haven't eaten all day. And I just wanted to thank you. I know this was a weird wackadoo type of conversation. It had nothing to do with makeup. I'm so sorry, but I'm glad that we actually had the chance to talk, or I had the chance to talk to you. Anyway, so again, thank you guys. Please be safe. And don't let microaggressions get to you. I'm going to go. Have a good night, people. I'll be back next Sunday with makeup. Love you guys. Good night. And be safe. Bye, guys.